Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and it's time for our Monday's Instructive Chess Miniatures. In this one, we have a nice game from Freeman versus Metis. A nice King's Indian win. Well, everything goes according to plan. Here we go. We start off with d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, and g3. Although this is a King's Indian, they're playing the Fee and Kettle version. And, well, anytime they do the Fee and Kettle version, it's not too aggressive. Black is going to be doing pretty well in these games because, well, it's just an equal game here. Castles here, bishop g2, pawn d6, knight f3, and knight to c6, allowing d5 to get played, which actually is not too strong. If d5 does get played, well, there's a few ways that you can play this line. You can go knight back to b8, threatening a5, knight to a6. You can play knight to a5, as the computer likes the most. It's a really interesting idea with like c5, because, well, it's not so simple to play b3 in this situation, because maybe knight takes d5 variations here. But either way, black is able to create plenty of counterplay after this d5 move. With that being said, white did not really question it. Pawn to e4 gets played, and, well, black to move. I like this move. What do you play here? There's two good moves that you can play. But if you want to, go ahead and push pause and see what would you do here. All right, hopefully you push pause and you found some good plans here. Well, here there's two major plans. You either want to play pawn to e5 or, like in the game, play bishop to g4. Now, remember, in the King's Indian defense, you're supposed to be playing on the dark squares. You can see here that the knight is doing a very good job on this, and also the pawn to e5 is playing with this principle. With that being said, what does bishop g4 do? Well, a lot of times in d4 openings, this bishop doesn't do too much. You can see even in this game, there's really not too many good squares for it. So a good idea for this bishop is to trade off for the knight, because again, this is controlling the dark square, so it's only going to help us with that dark square bind. Here, white walks right into it, and they play this move of pawn to h3. This is exactly what black wants, so he just goes ahead and takes right away. Bishop takes right away, and then knight to d7, again hitting on these dark squares. So e5 can come with even a bigger punch, as well the knight will be ready to go to c5 if the pawn does push forward. Alright, bishop e3 was played to try and control these dark squares, and, well, black never really does that e5. Instead, he starts a queenside attack and plays knight e5, attacking this undefended pawn here. Okay, white tries to play active here and plays queen to a4, not only attacking the knight, but defending the pawn on c4 here, and a nice move here, defending and then also getting ready for the queenside attack. What do you play here? Of course, you're going to play this simple move, pawn c5. Remember, when you're playing King's Indian defense, you either go e5 if you're trying to go kingside attack, follow the pawn chain, or go queenside if you're going for a queenside attack. Here you can say with the last few moves here, black was definitely trying to go queenside because he placed his pieces over there. c5 is right on time here, attacking the d4 square and allowing the queen to defend this knight. All right, white went ahead and played pawn d5, which looks like a good move, but now, well, black's just going to be able to create some good counterplay on the queen side. Pawn a6 was played, white played bishop d2, and now knight to e5. Of course, perfect timing here, coming with the idea of attacking the bishop. d3 is a weakness over here, c4 is a weakness. Well, white thought they could hold it down with bishop e2, but a nice surprising move here, black to move. Can you see it? I do recommend you push pause here. I really like this move. What do you play here for black? All right, I hear somebody saying we should play pawn to b5. Although it is a nice idea to try, it is not the best here. Here, white can play c takes, a takes, and let's see. Do you take with the knight or you take with the bishop? Here, we just play knight takes b5 here, and I don't see there's a good way for this knight to do a discovery move here. Although black does have a good advantage here because of the play, we have a stronger idea here. After this bishop to e2 move, the nice idea here, knight takes on c4, getting ready to fork it with pawn to b5. It looks like this is being sufficiently defended, but it is not. Bishop took on c4, pawn to b5, perfect timing. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and queen to c2. Be careful. If you're trying to grab this pawn on b5, things can go very bad. For instance, queen takes on b5. Well, knight f3 check. Be careful. Don't go to e2 here. Most people will only look at this move, but knight d4 check snags this queen. And yeah, I guess after just king to d1, knight just takes on d2. King takes on d2, rook b8, and we're going to be winning this b2 pawn and in check. And yeah, this game is pretty much over here. So the queen ran back to c2 after this, and black just has a huge advantage here. You can see that he's opened up the game. White never really was able to castle. Remember, guys, develop your pieces and castle as soon as possible, especially if you can do it in 5 moves or less. The game continued with pawn b4. Every move has a threat. Knight to d1, knight f3 check, king to f1, and now a very nice move here. Hopefully you can see it. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful move. I know a lot of people here are looking at knight takes d2 check, knight to d4. Well, here he finds the beautiful move, rook takes on a2. What does this move do? All right, well, rook's pretty much forced to take here. Well, I guess not too forced, as white went ahead and played rook b1. Can you spot the tactic here after rook takes a2? What do you play here to keep winning material? Only one winning move here. It's pawn to b3, and you're forking the rook and the queen, and there's no time to go after this knight. Again, if you try to play queen takes b3, what do you play? Knight takes d2 check, winning the queen here, and it's going to be game over very, very fast. So, after rook b1, trying to hold everything down, let's bring the queen into this game. Queen to a5, king g2, and the game was over after. Well, let's see if you can find the final move here. The final move that makes your opponent resign because they keep missing all your ideas. What do you play here? All right, hopefully you found it. It was pawn to b3. Here you're attacking the queen and also the bishop. If you try to snack on this queen, well, we're going to take on c2 with another fork, making a queen. And at the end of this, we're going to be able to take this bishop. Just down too many pieces here. After this pawn move of b3, white went ahead and resigned. Well, I hope you enjoyed this instructive miniature. Remember, guys, when you're playing your games, try to castle as soon as possible. If your opponent doesn't do that, keep making strong moves, keep trying to develop pieces, and then open up the game, making pawn trades, and then attack them. We'll see you in the next one.